Finally, Realme Philippines has just launched the latest number series smartphone in the country, and it's the Realme 9 Pro series. And yes, may sariling series na ngayon, si 9 Pro. So we got here the Realme 9 Pro and the Realme 9 Pro Plus. And today we're gonna review the better brother, which is the Realme 9 Pro Plus. So what do I think about the smartphone? Tara, reviewin natin ang Realme 9 Pro Plus. So first, the design language and the design of the smartphone is very familiar. So if you're a fan of Realme smartphones, I'm pretty sure na medyo familiar sa inyo yung gantong design. They are also introducing the light shift design on the smartphone for the other colors na nag-iiba yung color depending dun sa reflection or depende kung saan kayo nakatingin. As for this one, we got here the glossy Aurora green color, and actually I like the colors that we got on the smartphone. So we got the glittery back on the smartphone along with some dark sides, and it adds to the mystery and the beautiness ng smartphone. It's very elegant to look at, and I actually again like the design of the Realme 9 Pro Plus. It's not the most premium design that I've ever seen, but I'm really happy with the feel and design of the smartphone. And it's very ergonomic too. It's not that thick, tama lang yung kapal niya, and the curves are perfect for my hands to hold. So wala akong problema with the Realme 9 Pro Plus when it comes to its build quality and its design. But of course, it attracts a lot of fingerprints kasi nga we got here the glossy back dito sa smartphone, and I do like the camera module design of the smartphone. Hindi na siya yung katulad nung dati. As for the ports, the smartphone features a USB-C port, and thankfully, meron pa rin tayo ditong headphone jack. So if you're the type of person who loves listening music on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, or whatever streaming service that you are using, you can still use your wired headphones dito para ma-take advantage nyo yung higher bitrate or yung better quality ng music. Unfortunately, there's no micro SD card slot na option na ngayon dito, but we got here a decent amount of memory. You can expand the RAM of the smartphone, of course, and we got here a decent amount of storage, which is 256 gigs, and I believe that's more than enough for most people. Now, let's talk about the display of the smartphone. So we got here a 6.4-inch AMOLED display on the smartphone, and it comes with 90 Hz refresh rate. So yung 9 Pro, it comes with a 120 Hz refresh rate, but the panel is IPS. And if you ask me, I would love to have yung 90 Hz sana dun sa 9 Pro. So yes, I prefer the 90 Hz AMOLED because not only that we can get better colors with the AMOLED panel of the smartphone, you can also take advantage yung 90 Hz refresh rate when you're playing games. Not all games, I believe wala nga yatang games or applications nakaka-take advantage dun sa 120 Hz refresh rate ng IPS display. But with the AMOLED display, you could take advantage of the 90 Hz refresh rate, so you could have a smoother and better gaming dito sa smartphone na mamaya pag-uusapan natin. For the colors of this one comes in a bright and vivid display. So using this one outside won't be a problem. Actually, ginamit ko siya nung nasa labas ako. Sobrang init na ngayon. It's summer. And wala akong naging problema with the Realme 9 Pro Plus. Kasi nga, ang linaw naman display and maganda yung kulay niya. So, taking photos, kahit na nasa labas ako, wala akong nagiging problema with the smartphone. And of course, it comes in an in-display fingerprint scanner unlike the 9 Pro, so wala kayong problema pagdating naman sa kanyang fingerprint scanner, and mabilis naman siya pag nag-unlock ako ng smartphone. And as for the punch hole camera, actually okay ako dun sa small size niya and nandun sa upper left part na smartphone, so I barely noticed that one pag ginagamit ko yung Realme 9 Pro Plus. Sa loob ng Realme 9 Pro Plus is a 4,500 mAh of battery, and the smartphone supports 60 watts of charging. Mabilis yung charging niya, wala na tayong problema doon. Experience na natin before yung charging ng Realme smartphones, and I'm really happy with how fast the charging of the smartphones. And with the Realme 9 Pro Plus, I don't think naman na kailangan nyo i-charge siya palagi unless you're playing games talaga all day. In my experience, I'm using the smartphone in the morning, and minsan umabot pa to ng next day ng before launch. So, ganun siya katagal sa akin. But if you're playing games, probably tatagal siya ng isang araw sa inyo. And wala akong nagiging problema sa charging because again, 60 watts of charging, napakabilis. And kahit na makalimutan ko mag-charge before ako matulog, wala akong naging problema kasi maliligo lang ako and then mabilis na yung charging niya. And minsan puno kagad yung charging, di pa ako tapos dun sa pag-preparation ko sa araw ko. As for the PC Mark Work 2.0 battery test, we got a score of 13 hours and 34 minutes. And if you ask me, that is a pretty good score para sa smartphone na to. On the software side, the smartphone is still running on realme UI 3.0 but it is now based on Android 12. So, mas malinis tignan. I actually like the minimalistic look of the Android 12. Mapapansin nyo yun dun sa kanyang UI kahit na marami tayong customizations dito sa realme UI na nangyari. However, yung kanyang design, medyo similar siya dun sa mga previous realme UI. So, baka kung kino-compare nyo siya sa other smartphones sa may Android 12, well, it's still realme UI. Wala naman ako nagiging problema. It is smooth. It is responsive. But of course, it comes with some bloatware applications but most of them naman pwede nyong i-uninstall. So, wala namang problema with that one on the Realme 9 Pro Plus. Combined pa niyan is the 90Hz refresh rate of the smartphone. So, you know, when you're using the smartphone, mas smooth siya gamitin, mas smooth siya pag nagda-navigate ako, whether there's an application or the menu of the smartphone. As for the performance, we got here a MediaTek Dimensity 920 processor and then it's very decent pagdating sa kanyang performance. First, we got here 5G, so you know, we can get faster and better speeds when you're playing games, when you're outside. Ngayon naman na bumabalik na tayo sa mga offices. And then, of course, we got here an 8 gigs of RAM that can be expanded as long as meron kayong natitirang memory para sa smartphone. And so far, wala akong naging problema doon sa kanyang RAM expansion and doon sa kanyang processor. Actually, when it comes to benchmarks, I'm pretty happy with the results that I got dito sa Realme 9 Pro Plus. It's a big leap compared dun sa previous generation pagdating dun sa performance niya and I'm happy to see na ganun nagpa-perform ang Realme 9 Pro Plus. And of course, mas mahalaga yung gaming dito. Of course, benchmarks are benchmarks, but gaming, that's a different scene. We've tried different games on the smartphone. Of course, Mobile Legends won't be a problem dito sa smartphone na to. And with PUBG Mobile, we were able to play the game at smooth graphic settings with extreme frame rates. Pwede nyo taasan yung graphic settings if you want, but you know, mas gugustuhin ko na mas mataas yung frame rates ko and you can still use anti-aliasing and wala akong nagiging problema. No frame drops at all and I'm pretty happy with that. As for Genshin Impact, we played Genshin Impact at the lowest settings but we were able to play it at 60 frames per second. Yes, umaabot siya doon but napapansin ko, may konting frame drops pag nasa heavy scenes tayo. As expected, I mean, nangyayari yan halos lahat ng smartphones. But so far, I'm really happy with the gaming performance of the Realme 9 Pro Plus. So it's an all-arounder smartphone pagdating sa performance and sa kanyang hardware. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the performance of the 9 Pro Plus. The big differentiator dito sa Realme 9 Pro Plus is the camera. First, we got here the 50-megapixel main camera, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 2-megapixel macro lens. The main camera comes with a Sony IMX766 sensor, and wow, I do like the performance that we're getting in here. So, yung kanilang tagline is capture the light, and they're pretty serious with that one kasi ang ganda ng mga night shots na nakuha natin dito, even the street shots dito sa Realme 9 Pro Plus. And for the selfie camera, we got your 16-megapixel selfie camera, and overall, dun sa kanyang rear camera, it's sharper than I expected, especially when you're shooting at decent light. Pag may natural light, maganda yung lighting, walang problema. Maganda yung colors, accurate, and they're really sharp pag kumukuha ko ng photos. And as for the selfie camera, I'm also surprised that they are brighter. However, minsan, hindi naman sakto yung kulay, but they are better than I expected. Actually, nag-expect ako na hindi ganun ka-okay yung camera for its price range, but surprisingly, the camera of the smartphone is really good. So, why don't you take a look at some of the shots that I took using the smartphone? So for the night mode, they are pretty amazing. They're bright and the software is pretty good. And meron tayong tinatawag dito na bagong feature called street photography or the street mode. So meron tayong different effects dito na pwede nyong gamitin. So if you like commuting, if you love taking shots sa gabi, lalo na nakatira kayo sa city or sa NCR, ma-appreciate nyo yung street shots dito kasi ang ganda nung light effects na nakukuha ko dito. Whether we're taking a video, actually, street shots is for photos, pero whether you're taking a photo or video, sobrang nararamdaman ko yung OIS ng smartphone. And again, going back to the street shots, I really like the effects that we're getting in here, and it's brighter than most smartphones that I've tried, and the quality, they are pretty great. So overall, the Realme 9 Pro Plus is a really decent mid-range smartphone. It's the first one in the Pro series na meron tayong Pro Plus, and I like na meron tayong ganito kasi it means that they have more offering doon sa Realme 9 series, and I'm really excited to try out more of their smartphones. So overall, the performance of the smartphone is good. The design is something na medyo talagang napapatingin ka. I actually like the Aurora green color. This is my favorite one among the series. And of course, the performance is great, the camera is great, the design is great. Overall, wala akong problema dito sa smartphone na to. So the smartphone starts at 23,990, which I think isn't that bad considering yung features and hardware na makukuha natin dito. And again, wala akong nakita masyadong cons dito sa smartphone na to because overall sa usage ko ng Realme 9 Pro Plus, I am really happy dun sa results ng shots, sa results ng performance, and sa design ng smartphone. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be sure to click that subscribe button along with that bell button to get notified of our latest videos here dito sa aking YouTube channel. So once again, I am jamonline.ph. Thank you for watching and see you guys again sa susunod na video.